The Brave Little Tailor by the Grimm brothers. One hot summer day, a little tailor sat at his table sewing. As he worked, he heard someone call, "Sweet jam for sale, sweet jam for sale." The little tailor was quite hungry, so he answered, "I will buy some jam." Then he fetched some bread out of the cupboard, cut a thick slice, and spread the jam on it. "I will finish my sewing first," he said. "Then I will eat my bread and jam." In the meantime, the smell of sweet jam brought a swarm of flies through the window. Down they flew right into the jam. "Ha! Who invited you?" said the tailor. With that, he picked up a cloth and zip, zap, slap. He killed 7 flies with one blow. "I am amazing," said the little tailor. "The whole town must know about this." Then he sewed the words, "7 at one blow," on his belt. "Why, the whole world must hear how brave I am," he said. He picked up a lump of cheese and put it in his backpack, and off he went to tell the world. The little tailor had not gone far when he found a bird caught in a briar bush. "Poor bird," he said, "let me help you." He freed the bird and put it into his backpack along with the cheese. Then he went merrily on his way. When he came to the top of a mountain, he met a giant as tall as a tree. "Good day, my friend," said the little tailor. "I am off to tell the world what a brave, strong person I am. Would you like to come along?" The giant laughed. "That's a funny joke," he said. "It's no joke," said the tailor. "Just look at this," and showed the giant his belt. When the giant read the words on the belt, 7 at one blow, he thought the little tailor had slain 7 men with one blow. Now, the giant did not like to think that this boy could be stronger than he, so he picked up a rock and squeezed it into tiny bits. "I'll bet you can't do that," said the giant. "That's easy," said the little tailor. He sneaked the cheese out of his backpack and squeezed it into tiny bits. The giant could not believe his eyes. "But can you beat this?" said the giant. He picked up another rock and threw it high into the clouds. Once again, the little tailor reached into his backpack. This time, he pulled out the bird. He threw it high into the air. The bird flew higher and out of sight. Now the giant was truly amazed. "You are indeed as strong as brave as you say you are," said the giant. "I would be honored if you would be my guest tonight." "Certainly," said the little tailor. But the giant was not as friendly as he seemed. He hated this pipsqueak who was as strong as 10 men. So that night, the jealous giant crept over in the dark and smashed the bed in 2. But luckily, the little tailor had curled up in a ball on the corner of the bed and was not harmed. When the giant saw the tailor alive the next morning, he ran screaming from the house. "He's Superman!" he cried. The king's soldiers heard the noise and rushed to the giant's house. They were amazed to see the giant running away and the little tailor coming out of the door. "Who are you to scare away a giant?" asked the soldiers. The little tailor showed the soldiers the belt. When they saw the words, 7 at one blow, they thought he must be the bravest warrior in the kingdom. So they took him to see the king. "I am at your service, your majesty," he said, the brave little tailor. Now the king thought it would be wise to keep his hero in his kingdom. So he gave the little tailor a fine house of his own near the castle. The brave little tailor bowed his head and smiled at the king's daughter. The princess smiled back. The little tailor was most pleased to live near the castle, where he could visit the princess each day. One day the king sent for him. "I have an offer to make, such a brave hero as you," said the king. "If you will put an end to the 2 terrible giants who are harming my people, I will give you half my kingdom. And," he added, "you can marry the princess." "For the princess I will do anything," said the little tailor, and off he went into the forest. In no time he found the 2 terrible giants asleep under a tree. He filled his pockets with sharp stones. Then he climbed up a tree and sat on a branch. Plop, plop. He dropped some sharp stones on the top of the first giant's head. "Stop!" shouted the first giant, punching the second giant in the nose. "I didn't strike you," said the second giant. "You must be dreaming. Go back to sleep." After a while, the little tailor threw down many stones on top of the second giant's head. Plop, plop, plop. The second giant sprang up. "Stop that!" he shouted and pounced on the first giant. What a fight! They went round and around, pounding each other. They threw whole trees at each other until they both fell dead. The little tailor climbed down. "Lucky for me, they did not tear down my tree," he said, and off he went to tell the king. But when he asked for his reward, the king did not want to give up half his kingdom, or his daughter. The princess was heartbroken, for by now she thought the little tailor was the bravest man in the world. "Before I give you your reward, you must do another brave deed," said the king. "Bring me the wild unicorn that lives in the forest. I must have his magic horn." "That I will do," said the little tailor. "I have killed 7 at one blow and slain 2 fierce giants. Surely I can capture the wild unicorn." And off he went into the woods again. He had not gone far when suddenly the great wild unicorn came galloping down the path. It dashed straight at the brave little tailor. Quick as wink, the little tailor jumped away. The unicorn crashed with all his might right into a tree. He could not move. "Gently, gently," said the little tailor. "Not so fast, my friend." He put a rope around the unicorn's neck, and then, with one clean blow of his axe, he cut off the unicorn's thick horn. "There," said the little tailor. "Now you are no longer stuck, and I have your magic horn to take to the king. Surely the king will give me my reward now." But the king was greedy. He did not want to share half his kingdom, and so he thought of a plan. "You shall stay here with us in the castle," the king said to the tailor, "while we prepare for your wedding with the princess." Then the king gathered his soldiers and said, "Tonight, when it is dark, slip into the little tailor's bedroom and capture him. We will take care of him once and for all." Now the king did not know that the princess was listening. The princess loved the little tailor, and she did not want anyone to harm him. So she ran quickly to warn the brave little tailor of the danger. "You must leave this castle at once," she said tearfully. "No," said the brave little tailor. "I cannot leave you. I want you to be my wife someday. Will you?" "Yes," she said. "That is my dream too. But for now, you must flee to safety." "Do not worry," said the little tailor. "I have a plan." The little tailor waited until he heard footsteps outside the door. Then he pulled open the door and shouted, "I have killed 7 at one blow, slain 2 fierce giants, and captured a wild unicorn. Why should I fear 7 puny soldiers outside my door?" When the soldiers heard the noise, they were terrified and ran for their lives. Now, the king had no choice but to let the brave little tailor marry the princess and have half the kingdom. Some say that after many years, the princess became queen of the land. She ruled the kingdom with great kindness, and her husband, the brave little tailor, ruled beside her all the days of his life. The end.